What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here, and our first installment of Let's Go to the Flicks movie review show. I got all of your inquiries via DM, via email, and we decided to try to do it. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it catches. We'll see if you guys continue to support it. Let me know in the comment section and let me know what you feel about it. Let me know what other movies. I think I got like 12 movies right now that you guys want to be reviewed. So we will knock them down weekly. We're going to do this a weekly show to see if it, like I said, if it catches on. If it catches on, we'll do it from now on. If it doesn't, hey, we'll move on and we'll try to do something different. Now, if you look at the background, it's not finished yet, but we're in our new house. I'm in my new office/studio. And we'll look around and stuff like that and get it squared away and give you guys a detailed post by post, beat by beat, exactly what it is. I mean, this office/studio is almost double the size of the original one we had, and it's just so much space. So we're going to be able to expand the other shows, the Big Rich Live on the mic and What's the Real Deal. We'll be able to expand those tremendously. So the first movie that we're going to talk about is Sleepless.
At 0427, a squad car got a call. A sedan speeding near Old Downtown. Officers reported shots fired. They found bodies everywhere.
Oh, we'll take that. Me and Cass.
The city is crawling with dirty cops.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nevada's finest.
Looking for this?
Vincent Downs, homicide.
Jennifer Bryant. We're internal affairs.
Big bad policewoman. I like that.
Drop him off by 9 p.m.
Dad, when are you moving home?
Son, I love you. There's just some things I can't explain. You just have to trust me.
Vincent Downs, you stole something from me. Bring it back or your son's not coming home.
They said it was just gonna be an easy grab. Well, it ain't no easy grab. They got teeth.
What is going on?
They have a son.
Find him.
We've got a problem.
I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy.
Whatever you're aiming at, make sure you're prepared to kill it. I've been working undercover for 2 years.
He knows the players. He knows their methods.
I will pay every cop on your payroll to see Vincent Downs dead.
I got enemies. I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of people trying to drain me of my energy.
You touch my son, I'll kill you.
I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies.
Sleepless. It is starred Jamie Foxx, Gabrielle Union, T.I., a couple of others. Dermot Mulroney, Michelle, what's that? Monaghan, or Monaghan, something like that. Sorry if I have trouble talking about these people's names, like Octavius Johnson and stuff like that. But you know, we'll make it do what he do. But we went to see that a couple of nights ago, and I had wrote a review on IMDb, and it was titled, I really wanted to like this film. I really did. When I come in, I enjoy Jamie Foxx. I enjoy everything that he does, his comedy, you know, some of his singing, you know, when he, you know, all that crooning and stuff like that. That's never really been my bag, but that's not because of him. It's just not really my bag. And then now in the movies, he's done pretty good on a lot of movies that I enjoyed. And I really, really, truly wanted to enjoy this flick, but I just couldn't. I really couldn't. We're going to go down and break it. First of all, let me say this is going to be spoilers. I'm not going to go and run the whole movie, but there are going to be spoilers and stuff in there that we're going to use. So if you haven't seen the movie before and you plan on seeing the movie, then go ahead and press pause, put in watch later, Ben, and then go watch the movie and then come back and then see how your views work is according to mine. Okay. So it's an hour and 35 minutes long. It just debuted the 13th of this month. So I went to see it Monday on MLK Day. And like I said, it's starring Jamie Foxx, Michelle Monaghan or Monaghan, T.I., Dermont, Gabrielle Union, David Harbour, Octavius Johnson, stuff like that. Basically, when I was looking at a lot of the other reviews from IMDb, from Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, it's pretty much average, average to below average. I tell you, as far as my breakdown, let's just talk about the whole plot, the whole screenplay. It was just weak. It was very weak. If you look at this format, when you look at the Sleepless, when you look at the trailers, and basically he's some type of cop, plainclothes cop from the trailers, plainclothes cop that was driving down the road. He's having a discussion with his son, estranged son. Somebody pulls in, a couple of thugs pulls in, breaks the glass, snatches his son, stabs him, and takes off. So it's now like quote unquote nick of time. I don't know, I'm dating myself, but nick of time. Years and years ago, that type of stuff, a Die Hard movie, something like that, where everything takes place in a certain time period. It doesn't go weeks and weeks or days and days. It's like 24 hours or 48 hours, something like that. And you think that it's going to rip and roll. Well, that's not the case. The first almost 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of the show, it just drags along. It's dragging along. They trying to set the plot, if you will. They're trying to give some, excuse me. They're trying to give some type of character development, and excuse me. And you really don't really know what's going on. I mean, they start off, again, spoilers. They start off with Jamie Foxx and his partner, which is T.I., who's also a plainclothes police officer for, it looks like, Las Vegas PD, because it actually happens in Las Vegas. And they roll up on this courier, shots are fired, they shooting and killing people. And I'm like, well, okay, even if you undercover and stuff like that, how do y'all, just murder people and there's no report or anything like that? Then when they break off, Jamie Foxx goes to this, I guess is a safe house, where he is supposedly, allegedly living while he's undercover. And you can see that he has a wall full of the chain of command, if you will, of this organization that he's trying to infiltrate and actually destroy. And you see T.I.'s picture in there, like he's supposed to be some type of carrier, drug mule or something like that. So you say, okay, well, in your mind, you're like, okay, well, he's undercover and he is trying to bust people. So actually that whole murder, 5-8 minutes of footage was basically him co-signing what T.I. was doing to further the investigation. But again, I know when you go into movie, you're supposed to suspend your belief and try to go with the flow. But then I was like, well, you still supposed to maintain life as much as you possibly can. You just don't have a license to just murder people. So that sort of threw me off. And then they bring in his character of what do you call that? His wife. Okay, his wife is played by Gabrielle Union, and his son is Octavius Johnson. And it leads you to believe that they're estranged and he's not really there for his son, so him and his son have some type of back and forth in the car, and then he finds out from his wife that she's engaged, or a strange wife that she's engaged. So it was all muddy. So again, you're thinking, I said, okay, well, they've been separated for a while. So you think in one area, and then later on you find out that wasn't the case. It was just all BS. And then you're thinking, okay, once the son is kidnapped, you're like, okay, well, now the action is going to start. Well, it would start and then it would stop. Then it would start, then it would stop. Then it would start, then it would stop. It wasn't a continuous. Like you look at the Die Hard. I keep saying that, but to me, Die Hard, once the action started, it was nonstop. And I'm not saying it was nonstop shooting and killing and blowing up, but you would have 5 minutes of shooting, then you would have 5 minutes of running, then you would have 5 minutes of dialogue, then you would have 5 minutes of explosions. So you really have no chance to digest the bull crap that you might have saw before. Be like, did he just jump from one building to the other? You don't have any time to digest that because you are already off on the next chase or fight or whatever. And another thing that really bothered me about the flick is Jamie Foxx being the star, right? Being the main guy of this particular movie. He got his ass kicked the entire movie repeatedly. I'm like, really? I mean, and again, nobody's trying to talk about you should be some superhero like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Rocky in the past, where you got one revolver and you done shot a million times. You done killed by 8-9 people and you never got a scratch. I'm not saying that. I mean, I think those days are done as far as movies. But damn, you know what I mean? I mean, win a fight. You don't look like you know what's going on, and the fights that he was having, it was like during the fight, he was fine. Even when he was getting punched or kicked into the wound, because it looks like he was stabbed in his left side, right in his left abdomen, really. So there was some times when he was having, fights with the bouncers and the drug dealers and stuff like that, and they were hitting him in that wound, and he would never double over. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of just like unbelievable type stuff, almost to the point where you'd be like, really, dude? Really? And then it was just, I don't know if the plot was that they was trying to make him a hero or whatever the deal was, but to me, it was just never really the hero type thing. It was always, I just don't know. He just got his ass whipped too goddamn much, for, the type of hero or the type of movie that I thought it was supposed to be. His wife, played by Gabrielle Union, was just a pain. It was just a typical stereotypical. I know I'm going to take some hell from this, but a typical stereotypical, not a typical stereotypical angry black woman. You know what I mean? Just talking trash and being disrespectful. And you're like, really? And this how it went through the whole movie. Instead of telling her what was going on, look, this is what's happening, whoop-de-woo. Hey, we had gotten into a fight. I call you back. We got this, that, and the third. And I'm like, and all this time she's calling him. She's at work. She's a nurse. And it's, don't you got patience? Why are you calling? What is your issue? It was almost like they were just trying to give her something to do to further the story. But she wasn't furthering the story. She was irritating. Whenever they got to her, like he had this one cell phone. His cell phone been through, him being stabbed, beat up. He was thrown into a whirlpool, like a bath. His cell phone worked the whole time. Believe you me, that doesn't work. I fell into a pit of mud, and both of my cell phones immediately. I was in a pit of mud for all of 2-3 minutes, and both of my freaking phones were destroyed. So what? And then he finally kicks up and tells her a little bit. This is towards the end of the flick. He finally tells her a little bit. She just gets her coat, leaves her job at the hospital, don't tell nothing to nobody, to come, and what's she gonna do? To go to with the casino he was in. For what? What was you gonna do? So then when she gets there, there's tear gas. Now it's funny now. The protagonist, the big bad, he is I'm looking over at my notes at the other screen here. I'm trying to get his name. His name is I can't really find it. I thought I had it down here. The big bad. He wasn't really the big bad. But yeah, his screen name was Novak, and it's Scott McNary. We'll get to him in a minute because he was horrible. But to advance to the Gabrielle Union thing, he was shooting tear gas and shooting an assault rifle all in this parking lot when he was trying to find Jamie and his son. Okay. And she pulls in. Now, again, ain't nobody call the police, and all the cars is in there. Ain't nobody walking around or anything like that. She pulls in. It's smoke everywhere. Now, if anybody been in tear gas, even if you have your windows rolled up and you roll through a tear gas cloud, you're going to get tear gas in your car. You're going to have an adverse reaction to it. She don't have nothing. So she pulls in, she looking all scary, like she think death is right around the corner, which it could have been. Then she hears the shots, so she shrieks, right? She stops her car. She puts it in park. She takes her seatbelt off. Me and my wife is like, what's she gonna do? She gonna actually get out? Now she done heard gunshots. So she leans over, she grabs her pistol. She comes out, right? So now she done turned into the angry black female, the pain in the ass. Now she's Terminator. Now she's Rambo. Okay, so now she cutting corners and holding the gun very proper, to the point where she now finds one of the bad guys, the henchman, who is drawn on Jamie Foxx and the son, and is about to pull a trigger because Jamie Foxx, all his bullets are gone in the fight that he was having with the big bad, and she walks right up on him, sweet, and shoots him in the head. Let me tell you something. I have been shooting for 20. No, that's a lie. I shoot a handgun for 23 years. I've been shooting guns, like long guns. You add 6 years to that. So like 29 years. 29 years. You know how hard that is to shoot somebody in the back of the head in one shot? So she shoots the guy in the back of the head. Then all of a sudden, it's like they snap their fingers. It's like, oh, shoot, I'm supposed to be the damsel in distress. Now she's, she then dove behind cover and screeching and crying and, are you okay? And just ignorant. I mean, that whole thing was just totally ignorant. I didn't understand that at all. Now I'll get to the big bad when I say McNary, right? I said in my review on IMDb that he was non-threatening and a non-factor to me. The first time you saw him, he had two of his henchmen who had helped him grab a snitch who happens to be his cousin, his blood cousin. Found out that the blood cousin was snitching to the DEA, and they had him hanging upside down, and they was using a pitching machine to fire hard behind baseballs at him. So you saw bruises all over his body and whatever. The guy, his name is Vincent. Like I said, I'm sorry, Novak. Vincent is Jamie Foxx's character, Novak. He talks back and forth, gets the cousin to confess. spits in his face, and then gets up and walks out and tell his two henchmen, who are big as hell. I think these guys at least 6'5", 6'6" Samoans look like, of Samoan heritage. But anyway, and tell him to cut his tongue out, and they cut his tongue out and whatever. So he goes to casino, and basically, remember, if we go back to what I said in the beginning of this review, the shootout when they was attacking with Jamie Foxx and T.I. was attacking the courier, that actually was some drugs that was transported from the second big bad. His name is Delmont Maroney. He was a casino owner and a drug dealer. He was having like 24, 25 kilos of cocaine that he was delivering to Novak to basically help him out and get in and get that protection and all that type of stuff. So they didn't know that this guy, they knew that the drugs belonged to the McCleary character, right? Or Mulroney character. They had no idea that Novak and his family was the big bad. So that's basically how everything happened in this casino, which just crazed me. I was like, okay, all of this is going in the casino. And again, you know, security, nobody's really noticing what's going on, and everything is happening, you know, in this confined space. And it just was just unrealistic at all. Now, the co-star is Michelle Monaghan. She was an officer, sergeant, that had just came back off of getting, I guess she had rolled up into a meth lab, and one of the meth dealers had beat the brakes off her. So she had to be psychologically evaluated before she was allowed to come back, this, that, and the third. She was also a pain, a nuisance. You know, you got to the point where it'd be like, okay, really? You know, I mean, some of the conclusions she was getting, that she was coming to, which is like, really? That don't make any sense, you know? So her character was made to be more of a hindrance than a actual police officer, really. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, even when you then found out during the investigation, where she had come to her conclusion that Jamie Foxx was dirty, even when they had their altercation and Jamie was trying to explain to her, look, I'm undercover. I've been undercover for 2 years, this, that, and third. I need this, you know, I need the drugs that you took from me so I can give it to these people so I can get my son. She was like, well, I don't believe what you say. And I was like, well, why would he sit up there and tell you anything different? You know, he has you. It's not like she had to jump on him and she had him in handcuffs. She was taking him down. He was trying to come up with something. He had her in a precarious position, and he was trying to explain it to her, and she wasn't trying to hear it. So I was like, okay, well, you was gung-ho before, but now he's trying to tell you something that will save you and the entire investigation, and now you don't want to hear it? Now you don't understand it? So there was no character development. There was no direction. The plot and the storyline was weak from the beginning. It was just horrible. So I really don't have anything positive to say about it. You know, I would say, you know, to support Jamie, you know, and T.I. and stuff like that. I wouldn't go to the movies to see this. You know, I mean, I did. You know, I paid my, I think it was, we went to, you know, a matinee, so I paid like $10, something like that, a ticket or something like that. I wouldn't recommend you spend your hard-earned money on that. I mean, if you can get it on streaming, you know, streaming live, if you have that free service, or, you know, Roku, or you know, maybe a rental, a popcorn type flick, maybe, again, to support Jamie, because they said that here it is. They said that the budget was $30 million and it made $10 million. So if it's $30 million is the budget, you got to add probably another 10 to that for advertising. So they would need to make $50 million, I would think, 40 or $50 million to break even. I don't think that's going to happen. And it's sorry. It's piss poor, because it could have been an excellent movie had the screenplay been better, had the direction been better. I wouldn't replace any of the stars, co-stars, anything like that. It's not because of the acting. They did the best they could with what they got. But the big bad was miscast. He was definitely miscast in that role the way they wanted to, so he can be feared. If it was like, you have a couple of movies and stuff where you have an Italian or an Irish gang or something like that, and it's like a mama's boy, that type of punk type stuff. And they're surrounded by these big goons. If that was something that they was going for, then that would have been cool. But this guy was basically, grabbing guys by the nuts and, oh, my family can get you, pulling guns on stuff. I was like, dude, really? You ain't even tough. You ain't gonna do shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna beat nobody ass, perfectly. So, they left it on the cliffhanger to have a part 2. I do not think there's going to be a part 2. I really don't, because part 1 sucked. And that's a shame, because like I said, I definitely respect and I enjoy going to see Jamie Foxx. So out of 10, I'm going to give this a 5. From A through D, I would give it a C plus. A C to a C plus. Like when you're playing spades, when you say you got 3 in a possible, it's like a C to a C plus. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the format. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my review. Put it down in the comment section. Like, subscribe, share this to your social media platform. I appreciate it. See you next week. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I will tweet the next movie we're going to see. I think it's going to be Hidden Figures. I think that's going to be the next one. Either that or I'm going to go back and do The Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington. Now, that was an excellent flick. So, in the meantime, between time, stay safe, be blessed. Peace, and I'm out.